formed a cult in the unending rain, chanting prayers for sunlight beneath leaking roofs, never knowing how much their sun would demand. For 70 years, Sunderfall lay beneath humid fog and constant drizzle. Moss engulfed rooftops, rust-encrusted decaying signs, and sidewalks gleamed with perpetual gloom. The rain became ritualistic, a presence that weighed heavy. The air smelled of wet cedar and unspoken regrets. Children did not draw in chalk on sidewalks. They traced sun shapes on cold, fogged windows, watching the mist slowly erase their fragile hopes. One night, a circle of elders declared a new faith: prayers for sunshine. They built an altar in the flooded square from broken umbrellas, tarnished tin bowls filled with stagnant water, and stained prayer letters. Bring us the sun. At dawn, mothers, scribes, shopkeepers gathered beneath dripping eaves, their murmurs weaving into chants. The sun became mythic. Rebirth, forgiveness, deliverance from the relentless hush. Weeks passed with no change. One gray morning, a thin shaft of light slipped through. The mist parted. Sunlight touched the asphalt. People froze, eyes drawn upward, tears glistening with wonder. Hymns rose across the square, as if the town had been resurrected from its decay. But within a fortnight, the light grew severe. Gardens wilted, paint curled away. Jars sealed themselves under dry strain. People woke with burning eyes and anxious chests. What felt like salvation had become a burden. At night, groups huddled in basements lit by sickly lamps. Shadows flickered. We prayed for this. Did we know what we asked? They whispered. They spoke of longing for the hush before rain, the scent of damp earth, the lull of dripping eaves. In silent understanding, they destroyed the altar. Sun symbol stones cracked, posters incinerated in midnight fires. Rising from that despair was a new cult, the worship of rain. Bowls of water lined thresholds. Soft pleas filled the night. Still, sunlight remained, unyielding, indifferent, punishing. Then the disappearances began. Teenagers drifted into dreams and never returned, leaving dinners untouched, books open mid-sentence, doors ajar. Parents vanished at dawn, as if swallowed by thin air. Homes stood hollow, overturned chairs, half-filled teacups, dormant radios. Shops remained open, slow dust gathering on untouched goods. The church sat abandoned, pews fogged in oppressive brightness. Even the cult leaders vanished, leaving behind empty scrolls and silent altars. Pets vanished too. No sign, no trace. Rumors spread, streets shifted, alleys rearranged, roads folded back into themselves, trapping wanderers in loops. A feeling of uncanny emptiness pervaded the town. The stillness felt alive, as if architecture exhaled regret. Echoes lingered where footsteps had died. The fog curled through corners like unseen breath. Leaving seemed impossible. Each path circled back, each exit mocked by return. Months later, journalist Clara arrived, determined to film a documentary about an abandoned town. She passed faded signs, "Welcome to Sunderfall, land of rain." She expected ruin, decay. Instead, she found oppressive silence. Streets lay deserted. Windows stared blank. Fog drifted through narrow alleys. She set up her camera in the square, the site of the former altar, and asked into the hushed air, "Where is everyone?" Her voice felt swallowed by emptiness. Above, sunlight pounded mercilessly. And then, a single raindrop struck the lens. Another. The sky deepened. Soft rain began tapping rooftops. Fog thickened, swallowing rooftops and wires. Water pooled in cracks and door frames. Shapes emerged from the haze, bare footprints pressed into softened earth. Figures moved forward, Children, elders, merchants, pale, damp, silent, as if exhumed from a collective dream. They approached Clara, eyes raised toward the rain, voices hollow yet unmistakable. We prayed. It came. Then we prayed again. We were never ready. Without a sound, Clara shut off the recorder. Rain wrapped around her, cold on her skin, mist in her lungs. The figures drew nearer, not with fury, but with heavy sorrow. She stepped back, surrounded by silent forms, their despair pressed into her skin. Even the gentlest prayer, light, hope, salvation, can become unbearable when granted in mass. Our desires, once shaped, may mutate into demands we cannot support. In towns built by rituals and longing, the landscape itself reflects collective regret. When prayers return transformed, they often demand more than you ever intended. And sometimes something darker than you can face. If this story unsettled you, leave a like and let the shadows know. Subscribe for more tales you shouldn't hear after dark. And if you've seen something you can't explain, tell us in the comments. We're always listening.